live. I think. Okay, that's what does it, I do believe. Bear with me. Everybody knows I'm a one-man wrecking crew at this point. Let's get this out on YouTube today. We're actually gonna share the YouTube because I can now. So, how's everybody enjoying the end of daylight savings time? I know I'm definitely not. It's been awful. Oh, I'm loud on there too. There we go. Yeah. Daylight savings time is over. It is getting dark early again. I'm not having fun. I despise this time of year. I can't believe we keep doing it to ourselves. It's every year we do this. And I hear, oh, what about the farmers? Well, the sun will still rise at the same time, speaking of the Earth's and sun's alignment. So it really, you could get up a little earlier. It won't matter. Well, now that we're going, I want to remind everybody on Rumble, down in the bottom left, you can donate to me. You can like, share, comment. Anything helps. Keep this going. I appreciate everybody that tunes in. But let's talk about a story we talked about yesterday. Kevin Roberts and the Heritage Foundation. Well, I'm sure many of you saw his video yesterday. He caved. He gave in. Free speech must not be that important to him. And unfortunately, he's likely to still be fired over this. I mean, it's the truth. He's likely still going to be fired over this after caving. I mean, an absolute terrible situation to be in, morally speaking, or for his morale. And more stuff coming out of the Heritage Foundation. Evan Myers, a manager, he got fired yesterday after an audio was leaked asking about a religious exemption during a staff-only meeting. Now consider this was a staff-only meeting. He had believed that this would be off the record, but that wasn't the case. Somebody had recorded him. I only heard the audio. He is asking for a religious exemption to a dinner, which I find troubling. I feel like if it was any other person, this wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't. But because he didn't feel comfortable attending a dinner, he got fired yesterday. So we've got to start asking ourselves, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we caving? Why can't we stand up for anything? This seems to be a common issue. We'll get back to it later. But a common issue within the Republican Party these days is it's a lot of soft men. They'll sell their values. And it's unfortunate. It erodes trust, surely. From the outside, when you look at it, you can trust these people. And often backstabbing and just general foolishness that's gone on these last few weeks has been troubling, to say the least. We often do this to one another, and it always seems that it's in times of momentum. Conservatives get a little bit of momentum, and then we argue for an entire month on free speech leading into an election. I'm not exactly sure why we do this. Maybe it's to keep us honest, keep us working hard, but there's got to be a better way than backstabbing each other, especially in private. I mean, I've talked about the conservatives at Young Republicans. If I haven't done it on video, I've talked about it on Twitter. Be sure to follow me, Samuel_S_Jones on Twitter, or X now. Thank you, Elon. But we've allowed ourselves to slip from those fundamentals of free speech. Some other news today. We've gotten up to 3 Chinese nationals charged at the University of Michigan for smuggling biological materials into the U.S. The first was charged bringing in a genetically modified roundworm. What this is a parasite. It's able to infect humans and animals. Genetically modified, meaning this was engineered. It was engineered to be more effective. And they brought it in. They got caught this time. And a little while later, a couple, also from China, decided to try and bring a fungus capable of wiping out crops, poisoning livestock, and humans. This fungus, from my understanding, could have caused a famine across our nation. I believe it was targeted towards grain supply. That's a huge part of our food supply here. So you should take note of these things. When people start trying to bring viruses, genetically modified viruses, it's warfare. It's a style of warfare. There's no better way to describe it other than that. It is warfare. It's abstract warfare, but it is war on our people. And we shouldn't take these things lightly. If we were to try to do this in China, imagine how we would be treated. We wouldn't be sent back. We would be executed. So, I guess you've got to start thinking, what do you want your relationship with China to be? Because the one we have right now is not good. It is objectively not good. There's obviously all the propaganda out of China, building all these apartment buildings. They only last about 5 years if they're ever lived in. But you get to see the tall buildings. They're lit up. It wouldn't look good without the lights. But you see those tall buildings. That's all you're ever shown. You get to see these grand palaces. I mean, temples, I guess, is a better term. You see those. But what do you not see from China? Everybody says, oh, China has no poverty. China has a lot of poverty. Unimaginable amounts of poverty. And the reason you think this is you're not allowed to see it. They have these, North Korean style guided tours. They show you the nice parts. But when you want to wander off the beaten path, you're arrested. And there's a reason for that. They don't want the outside to see what it looks like. They don't want the outsiders to see true China, what China truly is. Because it's not as good as they'd like for you to know. I want to show this futuristic communist society when over half the population lives below the poverty line. And I guess that's just what you get with communism. People seem to not understand this. There is a group in power, often called the oligarchy. Yeah, that one hits home. Stop the oligarchy. But yeah, it's often an oligarchy. And those are the people, I guess in China, that would be the Chinese Communist Party. And they get all the money. They live in the nice apartments. And the rest of the population that is not in positions of power gets to live in shanty towns. You don't get to see the workers who aren't paid, the ones that live in squalor. I'd urge you to look towards recent protests, as you could call them, in China, where they sit in at banks asking for their paychecks. They sit in for days, and they're never given their paycheck. So what do? They go to their company's roof, and they start the protest there. These often aren't pretty. They threaten to walk out of the confines of the building from the roof level. So it is scary. It's scary. You wouldn't want to live like that. You wouldn't want to be worried whether your company had to pay you as a lower class member of society. You shouldn't have to worry about that. And I think that's a misconception people often get about China. They think, oh, it's a workers' paradise. It's a workers' party. No, it's a rich party. And the workers aren't invited. They never will be. So you can either accept your freedoms here that we often take for granted, way too often. Or you can live in a communist state. Go over to China. See how well you get. See how well it goes. Because, frankly, I wouldn't. There's no chance. And then you got to start thinking about our relationship with China. What do we get? What do we get from them? Well, China gives us fentanyl precursors shipped to Mexico, Canada, you name it. We get backdoors into our power grid. Do you remember a couple of months ago, issues with backdoors in the solar panels and batteries that was just discovered? No idea how long it's been there. Could have obliterated our power supply, the grid, plunged us in the darkness, and we wouldn't know why. We'd be searching for answers after all the lights were off. On a cold winter, a hot summer. That's what we get. We get attempted famine. They tried to bring biological materials over here to not only starve us, but kill us. To actually kill us as Americans. That's what we get. So what does China take? Well, they take intellectual property. This has been demonstrated in other universities across the U.S. Stealing patents, producing them in China for cheaper, And the U.S. company never has a shot. You can see this with maglev trains, high-speed rail. Everybody wants high-speed rail around here. Oh, high-speed rail. I want high-speed rail. Do you know the issue? American companies can't produce it as cheap as Chinese. They can't. And that technology was taken from us. It was stolen. So we've got to start considering, what are we getting? Well, we get fentanyl, we get backdoors into our power grid, we get attempted famine. What do we give them? Our intellectual property for free. Absolutely a terrible business deal. It's happened at universities like Stanford, Texas A&M, Harvard, Boston University, UCLA, Ohio State, Arkansas, and Penn State. All of these have had issues with Chinese nationals working for the Chinese Communist Party. All of them. So you got to think, how many more? Where else are they? Where else is our society being undermined at the university level, at the intellectual property level? How much do we want to lose? And it's just it's part of their regime. They send people over here on a student visa, and they get a call from the Chinese Communist Party. On that call, they get told that their family's going to pay if they don't turn over every single thing they've gathered since they've been in America. Just turn over all that knowledge, all that intellectual property directly back to the Chinese Communist Party. We're not paid for it. We're not paid for them sharing files back, sharing designs, blueprints. We don't get paid for that. They take it for free. They just take from us. And we're worried about, is it okay to have 100% tariff on China? Yes, it is. It's just. It is a just tariff. So I'm sure you all think, China seems like a great place. No, it's not. They are a bad faith partner. And we have to consider that in everything we do. Especially trade. Especially allowing them information. Are they going to use it against us? Are they going to take a virus, engineer it to cause famine here? Are they going to do it? Well, they've tried. I'd like to take one more moment. Yeah, everybody just comment, chat with me. I don't get many chats. I hope one day that'll change. But feel free. Talk, ask questions. Hit the like button, subscribe, follow, donate if you want. Donate to my house fund. I hope to have a house one day. Get out of this apartment. But if you want to help, it's down here. You can do a one-time or monthly donation. It's up to you. I hope to be around a while. In other news, I got a text from somebody this morning. And they were concerned. They said, with the government shutdown, what's Trump been doing? He hasn't been out in the light much since his Asia visit. He's had a few small gatherings, one at Mar-a-Lago, one at, I think it was like the Miami Business Leaders Summit. But what's he been doing, and why is he not helping Mike Johnson and Leader Thune negotiate this? Well, I said, first of all, I guess he's been busy. But why isn't he negotiating this with them? And I said, simply, it's because he's not going to bend the knee like the other Republicans. That's just how Trump's made. It's always been that way. He normally does not bend the knee. I've seen it very few times. He's pretty steadfast. He knows sometimes the deal's just too small to be done, and you need to make it bigger. So he's been working. I think evidence of this would definitely be the announcement today with RFK Jr. With Trump RX. I think he's been working tirelessly on that. It's going to bring Ozempic down, his favorite, the fat shot drug, down from $1,000 to $350 a month. So he's been working for the American, making deals, his forte. And I appreciate that from him. I mean, I don't take any medications now. I've gotten off all of that. Thank goodness. I'd advise everybody to do the same. Obviously, consult your doctor if you can. But if you can, I wouldn't engage in pharmakia. But for some people, I mean, the GLP-1 drugs are something they need to survive, to live. And to bring that cost down so much will, in fact, help Americans. I mean, there's no way around it. They will have $650 more to spend a month. I could spend that on food, entertainment, you name it, travel. That's money back in their pocket. So I think he's been working hard. And furthermore, it was, I believe, yesterday that he implored Senate Republicans just to take the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster. This wouldn't be the first time this has ever been done. Not even in my lifetime. A little bit of research, and the Democrats took this option in 2013. So it's not unheard of. It was led by Senator Harry Reid. So I asked, what's stopping the Republicans? What could it be? And what I always come back to is the coalition is weak. There's a lot of differing thoughts, differing ways of helping their constituents, but the coalition overall is rather weak due to the widespread of conservative thought these days. And I think that's what's stopping them. They're worried that if they get it down to just 50 votes, they won't always get the 51st. I guess not 50, because they'll assume that J.D. Vance will likely step in and make the 51st, but I guess they're more worried about 49s. And I can see how they're concerned about that. Being wishy-washy obviously does not help. Having no backbone does not help. Bending the knee does not help. And there's a history of it. It happens time and time again. So I hope this time, as they have for 30-something days, I do believe, that they don't bend the knee. They stand up for what they believe in. It's about time. Speaking of time, Cash Buddy, the time is up. We have seen nothing from you of substance. We have seen 0 deep state arrests. James Comey's still out. He hasn't been perp walked. John Bolton's still out. He hasn't been perp walked. There's plenty of other individuals that deserve that same treatment. And we haven't seen it from you. What have we seen? What have we seen from you, Cash? Well, we watched the Epstein files turn into a hoax on that interview with Dan. You looked like a hostage. I hope you're not. I hope you're all right. I hope you live a great life, but You're harming America at this point, and the time is now to step down, give the reins over to Ed Martin, give it over to somebody else. Maybe there's nobody good at the FBI. Maybe we just need to get rid of it. But there's no way that the Epstein files turned from a charge against Ghislaine Maxwell for human trafficking and Jeffrey Epstein to a hoax. Why are they in jail? Why is Ghislaine in jail then? She trafficked to nobody? Nobody believes it. We're tired. We're tired of being lied to. Tired of being pushed around. You always say, let good cops be cops. Cash, you're a Fed. You're not a cop. Stop posting about how well the good cops are doing in cities like Memphis and cities like Chicago. And focus on how bad the FBI is doing. Or just get rid of it. I don't care. Y'all can all do country music. There was a hunting stand about 3 weeks ago now, 2.5, with direct view of Air Force One. I looked at it with my own eyes, or where it was. I stood out there next to the canal. Clear as day shot. Why haven't we gotten any answers? Took down the crime scene in, I don't know, 24 hours. We were told it was going to be sent back to the FBI lab for forensic testing. How long does it take? What are y'all doing? Did you forget about it? Did it get lost in your plane? It must be lost in the plane. It's unbelievable at this point. We should have answers. So wouldn't it be the first time in this area that somebody tried to take Trump's life? And it doesn't seem like you are caring anymore, maybe even less. But I think you can go let the good cops be the good cops and turn the FBI into a functioning system. Or get rid of it. I don't care. And speaking of things that have been a memory hold, does anyone remember, I believe it was on the campaign trail, it might have been after Trump won the election, we were going to have a live stream tour of the Fort Knox Gold Vault. We were going to see the gold. We were going to see the national reserves. Our taxpayers' national reserves. I remember it. I think about it from time to time. But at this point, is it empty? Why haven't we seen anything? Is there nothing in there? Just a heavily guarded building with an empty vault inside? Is that what it is? Maybe everybody's too busy. If everybody else is too busy, I volunteer. I volunteer to live stream the Fort Knox Gold Vault. I'll do it. I'll show everybody. Show them live. Well, that's about all we've got for today. We'll have an interview tomorrow. It's my buddy Terrence. Talk about art, architecture, spirituality a lot. Talk about moving. Just going place to place. Being diasporic. But if you do support what I'm doing, remember, like, comment, share with your friend, your mom, your dad. I don't care, grandparents. That might be a good one. I want to be good with the grandparents. Yeah, make sure you guys are like, commenting, and sharing. If you do want to help me out financially, there's a donate thing down here on Rumble. You can do it once a month. You can do it one time. And if anybody wants to sponsor me, you're not going to change what I say. I'm sorry. The price of my voice is a lot more than you're willing to offer. So, but if you do want to sponsor me and you believe in me, you do believe in the work I'm going to do, continue to do, yeah, I'll talk some ads, live ads, recorded ads. Hit me up. Email's there. But that'll be it for today. To all my people on the East Coast, hope you guys get home safe. To my people further west, hope you finish up your workday strong. And you also have a safe ride home. Thank you, guys.